Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about chassis ordering. This is something that we feel is really important for you to know as you're going forward and budgeting. So there's a lot to talk about, so sit back, grab a cup of coffee or some Coke or whatever you need, have a little bit of caffeine. So today is June 2nd, 2022. So I want to make a little bit of a disclaimer. The information that you see is current as of today. It can, and I promise you, it will change. So as we have information that changes, we're going to get that information to you as well. But we wanted to get this out there as fast as we could, and here we go. All right, so we're going to talk about the chassis order dates for GM or Chevrolet, for Ram, Ford, and International as we know them. First things first, let's talk a little bit about pricing. So one of the unknowns out there are the prices for these particular chassis. You'll see what we're seeing from our dealers and from the manufacturers tends to be a big asterisk, which says something to the effect of the pricing is not set, or the pricing is subject to change. In some of these instances, we don't even have the pricing before the order bank, what you'll call the chassis order bank, is even open. So we're ordering chassis, or our dealers are ordering chassis without pricing. What you will see on the Fraser quotes is something similar. We are giving our best estimates, or maybe even guesstimates, as to what we think these chassis prices are going to be, and we're gonna err on the high side, so that if what comes back from the dealer in the end is lower than that, we'll let you know, and that money is going to be available for you to do something else with, to spend it on a different option, or to just come back to you at the time of invoicing. But we want you to know that you're going to see that on there. So it's a crazy mixed up world right now, and we're sure you're probably seeing this in your cities and counties and municipalities, but the pricing isn't set right now. Everybody calls it something different: municipal price concessions, government price concessions, whatever those things are. From some of the manufacturers, those are gone. And from some of the others, we're not certain yet if they are going to have them this year or not. We tend to see, kind of like when you're flying, if one airline starts charging for checked bags, then the other airlines start checking for them, or start charging for them as well. So we may tend to see something like that. If one's not giving municipal or government or fleet concessions, then the others may not do that as well. Okay? Payments. This is something that's vastly different. Typically with municipalities, with fleets, with cities, we're going to see net 30 or net 45. What we are now getting from our dealerships is that chassis need to be paid for when they hit the lot, when they hit the dealership lot. The reason for that is because from the manufacturers, from the various manufacturers, the way they allocate, or the way they allot chassis to dealers, whether they're on the retail side, the retail side is what you're going to take and drive around town for your own personal vehicle, or the fleet side, that's changing. And it's not necessarily the same across all manufacturers, but it's changing so that the dealerships need as many allocations as they can get, because we have chip shortages, supply chain shortages, we have geopolitical issues going on, a lot of things affecting how we can get these trucks and these chassis right now. So those dealerships want as many allocations as they can get. They don't want those chassis sitting on the books. So what you will see and hear from us and in our communication is that those chassis will need to be paid for when they hit the dealer lot. So that's going to be a change. We've communicated that already to some of you, and you'll see more of that coming. So be prepared for that, and have your county auditors or finance department be ready to split that up. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about actually the order banks themselves. These are when they're going to open. Typically, order banks in the past would stay open for a period of time, however many months, however many whatever. Now we're talking a day or a number of hours. So what I mean by that is when these dates come open, they're going to close on that same day. So what does that mean for y'all out there? You need to have letters of intent or purchase orders ready. How can this maybe be a problem or something different? Well, everybody has different fiscal years. Some of you run an October fiscal year. Some of you run a July fiscal year. Some of you run by the calendar year. So we're asking you to look forward maybe into October from what you're going to do and make decisions faster than you would normally, because if the order bank is going to open on June 14th at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time, and it's going to close that same day, and normally your fiscal year is in October, and Dodge, Ram, Stellantis, whatever, they're going to require a purchase order, a letter of intent, that fleet number to go along with it. If we wait until October, the odds of us being able to get that truck for you, I mean, they're basically zero. So we're asking you to accelerate that thought process, potentially go out there and have that letter of intent ready to go much earlier than you normally would. Hope that all makes sense. All right, so what do we have? Chevrolet, the C3500 HD, that order bank opened on May 26th. It closed on May 26th. So that one is done. Okay, the next one coming up, we have the we have the Ram chassis. Again, these dates are tentative. This is what we have right now. If they change, we'll let you know. But right now we have it opening on the 14th of this month. It will open and close on the same day. And some of these, I mean, we're hearing within 24 hours, or it could be within 12 hours. So these, remember, we've got pent-up demand. We've got them across all sorts of, we've got them across fleet. We've got them across fleet, both commercial and government, and then we've got them across retail. So these things are going to be, I mean, everybody's going to be putting in their orders all at one time, and then these production lines and the folks that run the production lines are going to be going, that's it, we're not taking any more orders. These are not guarantees on any of these that the orders that we're putting in are going to go through. So this is, again, why we don't really have time to wait until a July budget year, an October budget year, anything like that. Chevy Cutaways, these are the Savannah G, the G Cutaway vans. Those are opening on the 16th. I know for sure these G Cutaways are they're on what's called restriction or restraint, or everybody has a different name for them. So that means that we already know that all the orders that get put in are not going to go through. So some of the different manufacturers, they're going to go back and they're going to look for customers, and they're going to see what they've ordered in the past, and they're going to allocate a percentage of them and give a percentage of, so if somebody's ordered 100 of them in the past, they may say, okay, we'll build 20% of them, and they'll give that customer 20 of them. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is all based on what's going on with the supply chain, what's going on with transportation and logistics, and everything else right now. All right, so moving from 6/16, we move all the way up here to August 15th. Oop, I skipped a date, sorry. Trying to go in chronological order here. All right, so the next one, and these are very close to each other. This is the 2023 Chevy 5500, and very similar chassis. These are built there in the same plant on August 15th, the 2023 International CV 515. Again, these dates can move. We expect to see the further out the date is from what today is, the more likely we think this date could shift, either earlier or later. We don't know what it's going to be. But those are the order dates for those banks right there. 2023 Ford F-Series, that's going to get pushed. That's not until October, so October 17th. And on the Ford E-Series, we don't have a date for it yet. So all of these order banks are not open right now. These are when they're about to open. So I know this is a lot of information, and I know this is a long video, so I apologize for making y'all sit through it, but hopefully this information is helpful, and this will give you an idea and help you understand from our standpoint how imperative it is for you to get these purchase orders, letters of intent. So please call, email, text your RSM, your regional sales manager with Fraser, so we can help you move forward and get this stuff moving quickly. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next time.